Jaha, okej. Nyvaken, ny dag. Och sista chansen att se om man får in Cowboysaren Village People mannen på ett litet snack. Jag pluggar honom lite online och det är ju inte, jag tänker ju inte fråga hur många guldskivor han har vunnit och så där. Jag förstår hela den där grejen. Jag är lite nyfiken på honom av andra anledningar. De är inte så vana vid att man ska bara vara två, att bara träffas. Kan vi vara vi två, du och jag? Så nu ska jag försöka få upp honom på mitt tak och sitta här och prata i en solstol.
Ja, sitter man och väntar på en cowboy på ett tak. Kom nu då, Randy boy. Nu får han komma. Det är lite märkligt att han heter Randy. Är inte det ett sånt här litet smeknamn för kåt? Kåt Jones. Måste ju snart flytta allt noblemanget, tror jag. Solen blir ingen bra på honom. Oh! Help!
My God, that moon is bright.
Help! There's a village people cowboy on my roof. It's so great to have you here. I can't believe that I bumped into you at Birdlands.
Oh, I know. Well, I saw you sing. You took the stage, and you did "Here's to Life" in Swedish. It was mesmerizing because people may know the song, but so I'd never heard it in Swedish, and it was fascinating to hear you do it, and you did it great.
You come across as an enormously happy person, and I feel that I'm very intuitive. I felt like, Jesus, this is not only a village people. He's definitely a survivor. You have a long marriage.
I have a long marriage, 31 years.
You have a long career.
Going on, I'm in my fifth decade.
Yeah.
Almost 50 years. 50 years in 2018 is 50 years.
And you look exactly the same. What are you?
Well, that means I looked 63 years old when I was 22. Thank you a lot for that. I was bred on all of the philosophies of the civil rights movement, the women's lib movement, the gay civil rights movement, where it said if everybody should be equal, and nobody should be discriminated against, and if it feels good, do it as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. When I was about 12, 13, 14 years old, I went to a county fair in North Carolina. And it was dark at night, and it was seedy, and we were underage, and we were by ourselves. And I had never seen breasts before. So we snuck into the Barker. We paid the 50 cents or whatever it was, $1 to get in. We were agreeing to look at tits. So we went in there, and I remember, because it inspired me to kind of do what I did with Village People, the character. This woman who was beyond, she was a little, as we say in the South, she was long in the tooth. She was a little older than she should have been. Mm-hmm. She was maybe 45 years old, maybe 35, but you know, when you're 12 or 14, 35 looks like my age now.
Yeah.
But so she started making her breasts go like helicopters, and she had the pasties on, but she still had her skill set. She winked at me like to say, honey, I know it's your first time looking at tits, but don't be worried. I'm not going to hurt you. No one's going to molest you. Uh-huh. Just remember this moment. So that's what I remembered as one of the Village People. When we would walk right up to the edge of sexy and being offensive, but we wouldn't cross it because we never wanted to make anyone feel uncomfortable about being at our show.
Mm-hmm. In Malmö, where I grew up, there was 3 gay characters. One was a hairdresser, and he probably read about Studio 54 and wanted to create something like that. So he dressed himself out in Glad Pack.
Oh, he did.
I didn't want to be with him. The second one was called Dinky, and he was a female impersonator, black guy with Rasta hair,
like Kinky Boots.
Yeah,
like
and the third one was the one I slept with, and that was also a bad choice. And then there was like 3 more things to say it's okay to be gay. It was the Tom of Finland drawings, and it was you guys,
Village People,
and it was Grace Jones. And then I find out that you started off.
That started with Grace. Yes,
that's amazing.
I know Grace as a model with Grace Jones, with Jerry Hall, with Janice Dickinson. But they were the original Girls Gone Wild. Mm-hmm. They would get up on the tables and maybe lift a little bit. What Grace was brilliant at doing, she was one of the first, if not the first, disco performer. She got her deal because someone saw her and they created an album for her called Portfolio.
My first album.
I need a man like you.
Den här låten, den låg på Grace Jones första skiva. Portfolio hette just I Need a Man, och jag var 14 år och låste in mig i det så kallade tv-rummet längst in i vårt lilla radhus i Malmö, och där låg jag på marken och gjorde någon påhittad dans och sjöng ut den här sångtexten och alla mina lustar. Och i köket stod mamma och diskade, och jag har en aning om att det där samtalet som jag tog upp med henne 16 år senare var inte helt nödvändigt.
Were you a dancer though?
Oh, yeah, and we would have costume changes. I had a costume change where we had done Send in the Clowns, and we'd done it with a mime face and balloons and these tiny little silver shorts. She went off stage to change costume. We were left on stage, the two of us, with the fog to come up like knee high, a little above the knees, right? Yeah. Well, we had to do standing and then did a little back bend down under the fog. We had to use a wet paper towel, a wet cloth, and we wiped as much of the mime face off as we could. We pulled the silver shorts off. She came back on stage with her whip and her high heels and the leather to do I Need the Man, and we rose up like this, wearing nothing but a leather jock pouch with a chain around our waist and up the crack of our butts, ready for her to abuse us. So, I mean, that's two things I learned from her. Never go on stage without lighting and without fog.